like Chad O, it blurs the line. Like, yeah, PTSD, veteran suicide, but that's not what this one was about, in my opinion. Chad was murdered by people who were supposed to be taking care of him. I'm Kevin Manazir. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps from 2007 to 2016. Transitioned out and transitioned into doing my own thing, and that was the hot sauce business. And then through that, just the veteran community, we got hooked up with Chad. I know the VFW post, like I know all the people there, and Chad knew them. Our paths kind of crossed together in that aspect, and they had reached out and asked us if we wanted to be a vendor for them, and of course, we wanted to jump on that opportunity. And I was already building the gear tree, so I reached out and wanted to see if, hey, can we give you one? You want to auction it? Like, what better organization to partner with? That question answers itself, right? There is a stigma about it, and it kind of goes both ways. It's like, oh, why didn't he ask for help? And then it's like, oh, this guy's over here asking for help when I'm over here toughing it out by myself. So yeah, there's definitely a stigma, but I think what's scary is, like, once you get out, like, you can break past that stigma and you can be like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I want. It's when it's in, that's where we need to catch these guys and break that stigma down. I've got one of my best friends who's still in, he's wearing a rocker. He's a staff NCO. And shortly after our time as instructors, like, he went back to the fleet and things kind of started to go downhill, started to snowball, and ended up, he blew the whistle and was like, hey, I'm tapping out. I need help. I need treatment. This was 3-4 years ago. Called him on the phone. He's like, man, I wish I would have never said anything. It's like, dude, like, you're here. I'm talking to you right now. You're alive. 3 years ago, you were sleeping in your freaking shed during a storm in North Carolina, like, loading your shotgun. Like, we were on the phone together. I was very scared for you. And now, like, you wish you wouldn't have said anything. Like, that is jacked up. That shouldn't be the case. It's really hard to explain. You have to know the beast to understand it. Because when you're in, you have a different mindset. People aren't people anymore. People are, derogatory like terms. We don't think of, even Marines, we don't think of them as people. They're, oh, that bitch, that pussy. He can't hack it. All of us are. And it becomes all of that stress that we have on ourselves. Now it's like, oh, that's the weak one. Boom, let's put it on him. Let's target it onto him. And that's what needs to change, And I remember, like, listening to this master sergeant. I won't say his frickin' name. This master sergeant, like, shit talking this group of young Marines. I'm like, Master Sergeant, are you drunk right now? Turns around and, like, walks away. He's shit-faced at work. And that's the reason why there's the stigma. It's because, how's a junior Marine, a Lance Corporal, say, hey, I've got problems, or a staff NCO say, hey, I've got problems, when that's the environment, when that senior enlisted is creating that sort of environment. It's like, no, I'm not gonna say anything, paint a target on your back. Just keep your head down, do your time, get out, and get it on the back end, which is the unfortunate thing, if you make it there. Yeah, honestly, it's a joke. Like, what they're doing and how they're approaching it. This one's kind of close to the heart for me. I hit that stage in my military career where it was get in or stay out, get in or stay out, and I saw kind of the unhealth, what dudes were having to do to stay in, and hey, keep your mouth shut. If you got anything going on, like, just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Just get it on the back end, is what they would say, right? Like, get it from the VA on the back end. It's like, man, like, that's not healthy. The drinking, like the self-medication, it almost violates what we signed up for, right? Like, we signed the dotted line not to, the substance abuse. Like, and I saw it all the time, cocaine and dudes self-medicating with with different substances. It's like, dude, like you're a sergeant, you're a staff sergeant, you're a staff NCO of Marines. Like, you can't be doing this. And then it's like, dude, like these are the people who are watching my back. I was like, ugh, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. So I have buddies that who didn't, you know, do that second enlistment. They got out, right? So kind of saw the struggles that they went through. And then I have buddies like currently still to this day who are in battling these demons, you know, the 16, 17 prescription pills that they're on. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And they're like, what are my choices? What are my options? You know, there's nothing else. I can't use CBD. I can't use any natural methods to solve this. So it's pretty scary. And that's why, like Chad O, it blurs the line. Like, yeah, PTSD, veteran suicide, but that's not what this one was about, in my opinion. Chad was murdered by people who were supposed to be taking care of him. This wasn't like, oh, I missed a rung on the ladder, I messed up, I got drunk, and, you know, made decisions, took actions that, you know, can't come back from. You know, this was, I'm doing the right thing. I'm listening to my doctors. I'm taking my pills, and he's dead. And then, you know how the military works. Like, imagine waiting for those answers, and then to just get that bullshit that they gave him. Like, oh yeah, here you go. And then everybody's like, oh, there's no accountability to it. Why it hits so close to home is, like, just by being a veteran, you are susceptible to this risk. Like, even if you think, hey, you don't have suicidal thoughts, you aren't suicidal, you know, that doesn't happen, you don't have a substance abuse problem, awesome. You're still susceptible to this kind of stuff because of those physicians are the ones who are looking over us. It's like, how do we get away from it? As a veteran, Marine, infantryman, this is just what we do to help each other out. It's the least I can do at this stage. I have almost an obligation to continue to help and serve and lead my brothers.